what I want to kind of get across in this episode, one part of it, not only is the better understanding of ADHD in girls, but it's actually how can we interrupt the potential for harm? How can we make sure the way that we're doing things isn't going to make things worse for people in later life, which is about the fact that what we do now with the younger people could harm them as they're getting older. And we need to make sure we do things right now so that we don't bring that harm to them and we're not the cause of harm to them in the first place. So you mentioned there about being flexible and actually going, right, okay, we don't want the other children, other students to think that we're being to like favoritism, as it were. What is it could we do to kind of approach that? How can we make it not look like we're singling them out?
Every single person that either I've come into close contact with, either as a teacher, mentor, coach, they've all had one thing in common, and that is a strong relationship with one or two teachers.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's come about organically. Obviously, teachers are incredibly busy, but we can't ignore the fact that it is vocational. As much as pay rises and all the rest of it are nice, ultimately, for the amount of work that gets done, the pay doesn't even come close. So what we then have are huge numbers of teachers who genuinely care about students. And we've all had those students who we've had close relationships with, and there'll be a knock on the classroom door, not during lesson time, and you end up having a chat with them, you counsel them, you mentor them. And that every single young person that I've spoken to has managed to get through school because of those relationships. So I think rather than it being an organic, kind of a loose individual by individual arrangement, maybe there needs to be something more secure and more, tangible in place. So maybe a mentorship scheme, maybe giving teachers responsibility for that, maybe making sure that timetables are more flexible so that they can meet with students on a one-to-one if they need to, not always kind of jump into the one conclusion of you've been willful, you've been naughty, you've not thought that through, whatever. Having that conversation, even if it's just 5-10 minutes, what that basically does is it allows that individual to feel seen and to feel heard, and that is everything. Yeah. And I know that the pace of schools is insane, but if you really want to solve this problem, you have to put the time and the money into it in order for everybody to feel inclusive and to feel safe. Because ultimately what will happen is that they will feel discarded, they will feel angry, the anger that they'll feel towards that will be palpable, because we know that controlling emotion is a key issue with ADHD, particularly going through puberty. So you are going to feel the backlash, and that's going to take time anyway. So you might as well be more formal about it and really think hard about how it could be integrated into the school culture so that it's not ad hoc and it's not left for the student to forge those relationships. It's actually a bit more formal than that.